Hello and welcome back to Season 5 of Soul Purpose with Shemama. I'll be your host today. I'm George Lechleidner, and this is my beautiful wife, Shenora Lechleidner, also known as Shemama. So, it's been a while, but we got a lot of information to cover, so let's get with it.
All right. Hi, everybody.
First things first, today's your birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday.
You are beautifully 40.
Thank you.
So, tell me, what are you doing on your birthday?
I am in the beautiful Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. We are at a resort thanks to our friend Crystal, who hooked us up with this vacation like almost 2 years ago. And we did not think we were going to take advantage of it, but we did. And we're together. No kids. And I'm grateful.
This is the Sports Illustrated.
Yes.
If you can't tell by our background picture.
Yeah, that's like a football player.
But I guess they are changing to tans now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're going to keep the sports-related themes, but there's a lot of sports memorabilia themed out throughout the whole entire resort. And really nice out here. It's really beautiful. The temperature seems to always be 80-something degrees. Beautiful weather. And it's a very beautiful place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 7 months since season 4.
Has it been 7?
And a lot has changed. A lot has transpired. You used to be Shemama, the Underwire Slayer.
Yeah.
And you have since gotten rid of that title.
Yes. So the business wound up coming to a close. They announced it June 25th. And so Ruby Ribbon is no more. And then they officially closed in August. I think that was the last day. But good news for those who are here because of that amazing product. Kimber Matarazzo and her business partner, it was just announced yesterday that they will be bringing the product back as well as a new clothing line. And this is, I don't even remember what they said because I was half asleep when I got the information. But the good news is the product will stay alive. It's just going to be coming out under a different name. So I'm happy about that. There are people who still text me like, what am I going to do? I'm never going back to a bra. And as important and as valuable as that business was to me, I knew last year that it had to come to an end. So it was not as emotional for me. Last year I had a dream that I was so busy in doing things that I did not have time to be the Underwire Slayer. And I was heartbroken when I woke up because I was like, oh man, I have the most amazing women in the Underwire Slayer suite and customers who have become like friends and friends who have become like family. And I just didn't want to let it go. And so when the business was coming down, I was sharing this with some customers who are believers, and it was like, oh, so you were the Jonah. You didn't want to get out the boat, so you shut the whole business down. I said, no. But the reality is, it was a bittersweet experience because I really did love what I get to do. And the Underwire Slayer Suite is still there. It's just now Shemama's Soul Circle. And it's just for encouraging posts, a safe place to just come and chill. Sometimes I'll share about our personal lives or just inspirational things, songs, quotes that touch me. And yeah, we're just pivoting. That's what we're doing.
So now that you're not a Ruby Ribbon stylist anymore,
Mm-hmm.
tell the folks what has happened. One door closed and another one opened.
Yes. So for the past 10 years, there's 2 things that I really, really wanted to do. One of them was get micro locks. And as you can see, my hair is different. My best friend Stephanie, she raised the money, and it's so funny because on June 25th, when they announced the closing of Ruby Ribbon, that was the same day that she surprised me and told me that she had raised the money for me to get my micro locks installed. And so it was just a very tearful, bittersweet day. But the other thing that came about was I was offered a position to become a registered behavioral technician, which is a person who works with kids who have special needs, specifically kids who are on the autism spectrum. And I work one-on-one with clients. Since the last time we talked, I have passed my exams that are needed for this career, and it has been a tremendous blessing. My dreams literally came true this year.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So, you're 40, you're in a whole different country,
Yes. First time.
whole different career. That's a lot of change since the last season of Soul Purpose.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? All that change in a very short amount of time.
It is short. On top of all those changes, we were able to get out of the home that we were in that was so unhealthy for us. It was a blessing, because we were able to find shelter after being homeless, but there were some things that quickly declined, and water damage, mold. I think right before we moved out, the septic tank went under. And so while all of these different changes were going on, we were blessed with the opportunity to move to an apartment, which has been, I think, just a weight off of us. I think both of us have been able to just kind of woo-saw. So the other changes that have occurred, it's not as stressful as it used to be, because there's just some things that, not having to worry about, oh, are we going to be evicted, or what's going to go wrong with the house this time. That pressure off of us made it easier to adjust to the other changes. So I'm grateful for it. As some people, they look at 40 and they think about what have they accomplished in the last 40 years. Are we, at the place financially that I thought that we would be? Absolutely not. However, I do believe that we are in alignment. We are right where we are supposed to be. And I'm grateful that God has given me the courage to let go of things that I love in order for me to embrace what He has for us. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what do you think is the next thing in the horizon that is going to be an achievement or accomplishment or a move that you're going to work towards?
Well, I believe that motion has already happened as far as really adhering to the call that is on my life. If you have known me, longer than Ruby Ribbon, you know that ministry is, at my core, and it comes out in different ways. But this past month, I was able to speak at our women's conference at church, and it was freeing. It was a blessing. It was like full circle moment. And so I am open to more speaking engagements and just really aligning with what God has for me versus me having this, plan, because all of my plans that I had did not work out. And so now I'm just open to what God has for me. My prayer has been alignment. But as far as like what I see that I want our future to look like is more experiences, more peace, more joy, cultivating that, not working ourselves to death, but then also just being intentional with how we spend our time. Because it's important, it's important to our kids, it's important for our physical and mental health. That's what I'm looking forward to.
And before we get off of here, I just want to brag on you a little bit, because no matter what is going on, no matter where we're at, Shenora knows that ministry is a constant. And so the other night at dinner, she overheard a couple of women having a conversation about Christianity and things involving Christianity. And there was a bunch of things that we were hearing, these nuances that were kind of disturbing and actually not in alignment with what we believe uh, entails Christianity, encompasses Christianity. And there was a lot of misinformation that this woman was speaking of. And we weren't trying to eavesdrop, or it was just she was speaking very loud.
Very loud.
And I couldn't help but hear it.
Yeah.
And Shenora said, I feel like I have to say something. And she did, because ministry is a constant.
It is a constant. And I used to get irritated, like, God, why can't I just enjoy and mind my own business, But this young lady who I didn't even think she was 25 yet, she was disheartened because family members were forcing their faith upon her. And it became that anytime she was around her family, from what I heard from the conversation, it was uncomfortable because it seemed like they were just shoving Jesus down her throat. And some of their practices, like you said, was just a little weird. And I just couldn't contain myself. The restaurant itself, like, it seemed like nothing was coming fast at all. And so what I didn't want to do is just like interrupt our meal, because I still wanted to be intentional with our time. But I felt like God paused that time and gave me opportunity to just really hear what her heart was saying. She wasn't like bashing the faith. She was just really at this place of struggling. And I wanted her to know that, number one, God loves you. Number two, that's just not how our faith operates. And when you are in that place of distress, it's like, God, what do I do? She mentioned, like, I want to read my Bible, I just don't understand it. And that just speaks volumes. I mean, thankfully, we go to a church where our pastor is, a theologian. In my, perspective, he researches, not just what the word says, but the context and the historical context. And then he also has a therapeutic methodology of how he approaches that when speaking to the congregation. And I just had to let her know that it's not like that everywhere. I think she was from Colorado or something.
Yeah.
And, I shared with her, about our church. And then I offered her the Bible app, because not a lot of people know about it. There's Christians that don't know about this Bible app that has a whole host of resources, no matter where you are in your faith. And I asked her, like, hey, did you know there's like 2-minute devotionals? You don't have to have this whole hour in prayer and supplication. If you're there in that maturity of your faith, good. There's been times where we've prayed for, an hour and we were on our face. But then there's some seasons of life where you've got that 5 minutes and you have to be intentional with it. And then you go on. It's not to say that you don't think about God for the rest of the day, but there should be no obligation of what your faith looks like. It's a personal relationship, not religion. And so I was nervous, but I went over there and I said, hey, I just want you to know that it's not like this. And they hugged me, her and whoever she was with. They just said, thank you so much. And, they took the resource. She downloaded the app immediately. And I may never see her again. But the seed was sown that it's not like this for everybody. And I'm praying that God will, give her more opportunities for her to grow in her faith and really accept his love for her, because it's not about what man says. It's that personal relationship with Christ. And if we focus more on that versus telling people what they should not be doing, I think that Christianity would get a better rep. Especially in America. Ooh. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been a great episode. And we're just going to end it right here, okay? So, we love you.
And we mean it. Have a good one. See you next time.